wanted to do an update on my durational art piece, my year-long tattoo. This is officially the mark of 8 weeks into this, and it's pretty long. Like, it's wrapping up against, over the top of my arm, which is cool. It is way long. It is way longer than I thought it would be at 8 weeks, 2 months. So, I don't know. I have 52 weeks, so I feel like it's gonna wrap around more than 3 times. I mean, the dots are like really close together. Really only when you get up close can you see that there's much separation there, and they look a little wibbly wobbly. That's because they are. I started to go off route, and so I had to sort of bring it back. So there's a little place where it almost looks like scalloped, but you know what? That's fine. That's part of it. Some of the dots in the beginning were really heavy-handed. I said that in another update, and have blown out even more whenever they heal. But I'd say in the past month or so, I've been good about being a little bit more light-handed and like not going over them twice so that they don't blow out or look too big or look weird. So I'm just gonna do it on camera. I have my ink, my little dropper full of rubbing alcohol. I usually just stick it in there and let it sit for, 30 seconds or so, and then wipe it down. Of course, I wash my hands with soap and wash my arm with soap beforehand, dry it off, all that. And then I just sort of tilt this up and make sure that there's lots of ink on the needle, and make sure there's no big droplets and then this part is, you really have to be, aware of where you're going. You really have to look a lot before you make that move. And then you just push down. It doesn't hurt that bad. And I've actually found that if I put the ink down and I sort of push and then push a couple of times, it will do what I'm wanting it to do without having to go over it a second time. That seems to be the best way to go. So I'm gonna wash that off in a minute. But anyway, the other day I actually went way too far. I went double length of what I would normally do. And so I contemplated leaving that. Should I leave it, or is that bad to put a dot in between the further one and where there should be one? Or should I be well, I just spoke up, so I should just leave it. And I ultimately decided that, there's no harm in putting one in between to fill the space. That's the choice that I get to make about this. It gets to be whatever I want it to be, and I only place significance on things that I feel are significant. So if I felt oh well, you can't touch it after you do one dot, so all of these in the beginning would be they would look really shitty, or there might not even be ink in them because I had to go over them twice. So it's really about whatever you feel is the right way to go. And so this isn't gonna look great. It's gonna look like a homemade tattoo, but it's gonna be on me forever too. So I have to sort of think well, I don't want it to look bad just because of some arbitrary parameter that I put in this thing. So I'm trying to make it look good as good as it can. And I haven't really had anybody else tattoo me. Alex my partner has done a dot for me, and my friend Hallie, who is practicing this at the same time as me, but a week behind, she has done 2 of my dots, and I have done 2 of her dots. So that. I did hear a really interesting story the other day someone asked me if I'm using real tattoo ink, and I said, yeah, I didn't want to use anything else. And they said, oh, that's really good. Oh, actually, I know who it was. It was, there's a friend of ours who came and did a cross-country road trip, and he just nailed a residency that he wanted from after medical school. And I told him about this project, and he seemed very interested, and he asked me if I was using this, and I said, yeah, I don't, I'm weary of using anything other than real tattoo ink. And he said, oh, that's really great, because if there's the ink that you're using, like just like shitty pen ink or whatever, if it has metal in it, like trace amounts of metal, it will, get underneath your skin and heal. And then if you ever get an MRI, which is basically like they put you in a big tube and it's a big magnet, it will like heat up and give you like severe burns. Like it'll heat up to like 300 degrees and it's just like molten metal like laying underneath your skin. So I'm really happy I made that decision to like get quality stuff. I mean, this is only like $12 or something, so it's like, if it's gonna last, even if it lasts me half of the time, it's worth like not having horrible burns and ruining this in the future. So, fun fact about that. I think that's all I have for now. I mean, I'm really getting into the groove of this, it really has become a part of my life and my everyday. I haven't forgotten it yet. The other day was the first time that I didn't tattoo myself before midnight of the same day. And so I was like, oh, I can't. Oh, it's a different day. I can't. But really what I think is most important is that it's in like one sleep cycle, right? Like it's the same day. It doesn't matter if it's 12:30 or if it's 11:30 at night. Like it's the same day for me. So that's another one of those like arbitrary parameters that I had to figure out whether I cared about or not. So yeah, I'm gonna keep updating, keep blogging, keep writing. Hopefully keep getting like cool areas where I want to like sort of take this out and like maybe do it, in like cool places, and that will be like a memory for me. Like, oh, I tattooed myself in this cool place. The problem is that like when I pull out a needle and I pull out like alcohol and stuff, like if there are people around, I feel like that might weird them out. Like they'll be like, what are you doing? Are you doing drugs? So, I don't know. And I want to get more friends to tattoo me. I feel like some people are like really weary of doing this on someone else, and I get that. That makes sense. If you think like, oh, I might mess up something that's permanently on someone else's body because I don't know how to do it. I understand that fear. So I'm going to try to recruit more friends and just be more trusting in myself that I can like give them that little piece of control over something that will never leave me. So yeah, that's my update. I'll update soon. Bye.